Good morning. It's nice to see you. It's March 17th, so happy St. Patrick's Day. I hope you enjoy that, and I hope you're well. So hi from Vicar Sarah and from the rest of the Holy Trinity staff. We are broadcasting from my house today, so we're going to get to know each other, I think, a little bit better in this experience. But I thought I'd start today with our lectionary text, which is 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verses 1 through 4. And a little bit of background on that is this is Paul's letter, and in it he's referencing when the Israelites leave Egypt and they're in the Exodus and they're wandering around for 40 years in the wilderness. And in that, they're frustrated and aggravated and irritated and mad and annoyed. And they're in this perpetual state of limbo. And I thought that was really resonant for where we're at right now. And they don't know what's going to happen next. So they're all going through this together in community in the wilderness. So I thought it was a good text for today. So 1 Corinthians chapter 10. I do not want you to be unaware, brothers and sisters, that our ancestors were all under the cloud, and all passed through the sea, and all were baptized into Moses in the cloud and in the sea, and all ate the same spiritual food, and all drank the same spiritual drink, for they drank from the spiritual rock that followed them, and the rock was Christ. Here ends the reading. And I love thinking about Christ being our rock. I think it's such a beautiful analogy. I love the visual of that. And I thought it would be fun for us together today to kind of think for a few minutes about the characteristics of a rock and how those are similar to the characteristics of God. So think on that for a moment. What does a rock remind you of? How is that similar to God? What aspects do they share? So for me, I have a favorite rock. Bet you didn't know that. This is actually a geode, which I think is super fun because it has the crystals inside and it has the pattern on the outside. And one of the things I love about rocks is that they can be beautiful, and it's a lovely way to enjoy creation and a lovely way to remember our Creator who makes such amazing things. So that's one reason I like rocks, but I also like just the physicality of them. I love this rock because it's thick and it's heavy and it's sturdy and strong. And so as much as I might bang against this or try to twist it or, I don't know, bend it, I can't do that because it doesn't change. And that's one of the things I think is great about God is our unchanging, strong, and in that I think faithful, reliable, dependable God who supports us, all the weight of us. We can lean hard against God and not fall down in that. We can be supported and held in the strength of God and the might of God. And I love that, especially when I feel shaky and when I feel vulnerable and when I feel like I'm uncertain about what's going to happen next. I love the feeling of resting on God and resting with God in that, and remembering that I can depend on God, that God is reliable and God is strong and God is with me always. And just like sometimes I pick a rock up and I put it in my pocket, it reminds me that God was with me then and God is with me now. And God is with all of us. in all of our days. So I thought we could sing a song together, and that might be a fun way to close us out. So when I was thinking about this, I remembered the song that I sang as a kid, which was about the wise man who built his house on the rock. So you might know that. The wise one built his house upon the rock. So I'm going to add some sign language to that. So the wise one built his house upon the rock. All right? And the foolish one built his house upon the sand. And we'll go from there. There is one component at the end that mentions Jesus Christ, and I love the sign language for that because it's just putting your fingers where the nail holes would have been. So we'll try this together, okay? The wise one built his house upon a rock. The wise one built his house upon a rock. The wise one built his house upon a rock, and the rain came tumbling down. The rain came down and the flood came up. The rain came down and the flood came up. The rain came down and the flood came up, and the house on the rock stood firm. The foolish one built his house upon the sand. The foolish one built his house upon the sand. The foolish one built his house upon the sand, and the rain came a-tumbling down. The rain came down and the flood came up. The rain came down and the flood came up. The rain came down and the flood came up, and the house on the sand fell flat. So you and I can build our lives on the rock of Jesus Christ. Build our lives on the rock of Jesus Christ. Build our lives on the rock of Jesus Christ, and the blessings will come down. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.